Hello everyone! I'm happy to see you on my channel. And today I decided to tell you about some language problem in Ukraine. What is the language which we call Surzhyk? How does it appear and how to understand it? The Ukrainian word Surzhyk originally referred to mix of different grains. But if to speak about languages, Surzhyk refers to elements of two or several languages artificially united without observing the norms of the literal language, non-standard language. In Ukraine, there are a lot of dialects and Surzhyks, especially near the border. For example, exist Ukrainian Polish Surzhyk, Ukrainian Hungarian Surzhyk, Ukrainian Romanian, Russian Romanian Surzhyks. But the most common in Ukraine, it's Ukrainian Russian Surzhyk. If somebody from you was in Ukraine and if you know Ukrainian or Russian or both languages, you could meet people who speak in this language. If you know from the history, Ukraine has been under the influence of the Russian authorities for a long time. And during this time, they tried to destroy Ukrainian language. It was forbidden many times in Ukraine by Russian Empire, or it was limited by Soviet government. And a stereotype was created that smart and educated people speak Russian, and uneducated, silly, poor people speak Ukrainian. So to speak in Russian, it was prestigious. That's why people went to school where they studied in Russian, went to work where they spoke Russian. Most newspapers, magazines, books, movies were in Russian language. But at home, some families continued to speak Ukrainian. That's why most children grew up in this condition. When at home they speak in one language, when they go outside they speak in another language. It's also about adults, people, about everyone. That's why appeared this language, not formal language, which we call Surzhyk, combination of two languages, Ukrainian and Russian. In Soviet time, Ukrainian schools also existed, but most of schools were in Russian language. And parents preferred that their children went to Russian schools because it was prestigious, especially in big cities. But after Ukrainian independence, more and more Ukrainian schools were opened. More movies were translated to Ukrainian, more books, newspapers, magazines. But the propaganda about Ukrainian language didn't disappear. This stereotype about Ukrainian language existed till recently. And I remember even when I went to school, it was about 20, 15 years ago, or when I went to university, there was some teachers in university who spoke Russian, and they even told that speak Ukrainian is not nice and it's not prestigious. It's a language for poor village people. At the same time, most TV programs, movies, magazines, books were in Russian language. Ukrainian also existed, but even people preferred to read books in Russian language and to watch movies in Russian language. People try to speak in Russian at work, in restaurants, in the bank, everywhere where they should go. And it's strange, even people who spoke in Ukrainian at home, when they went out, they switched to Russian automatically. They changed their language in public. And it was also strange when I went to school, for example. We studied in Ukrainian school, studied in Ukrainian language, but when we went to the world, we should speak Russian. And I also met opposite situation when a family speak Russian, but their children go to Ukrainian school. And in this situation, children speak with parents in Russian, at school in Ukrainian, and with friends, depend on the language of friends, how they speak. That's why this not formal language like Surzhyk become more and more popular among people. And really, more Ukrainian came to us after 2014. Most of movies we have in Ukrainian language. More and more books, newspapers, magazines were translated or was issued in Ukrainian language. And especially after full-scale invasion by Russia. If before Russian songs were more popular, now Ukrainian songs and Ukrainian singers becoming more popular than Russian. And even Ukrainian singers in past tried to sing songs in Russian, and now they already sing in Ukrainian language. And but even now, we still have a lot of Russian-speaking people and a lot of Surzhyk. Most of Surzhyk use more Russian words, but with Ukrainian and in with Ukrainian pronunciation. Even people who speak or to try to speak Ukrainian or who speak Ukrainian very well sometimes put automatically, accidentally Russian words. How sounds the Surzhyk? It's not just combination of different words in Russian and in Ukrainian languages. It's deeper. The Ukrainian verbs with Russian ending, Russian verbs with Ukrainian ending, Russian words with Ukrainian ending in cases, and also Russian words with Ukrainian g and Ukrainian stress in words, with Ukrainian pronunciation, and famous sho, what, instead of Ukrainian що or Russian что, or famous чого, like why, but in Ukrainian it's чому, in Russian почему. Чого, it's not why, but it exists like what in genitive case, but not like why. Usually in Surzhyk people use Ukrainian pronouns, but other words, a lot of them in Russian language, like nouns, adjectives, verbs, but with Ukrainian pronunciation and ending. Let's see some examples. For example, I need to buy shoes. In Russian language, мне надо купить обувь. In Ukrainian language, мені треба купити взуття. Person who speaks in Surzhyk will say мені надо купить обув or мені треба купить обув. You see, use купить with a soft mark in the end like in Russian language, but instead of и pronounce и. Or обув. Обуv doesn't exist in Ukrainian language, and people use обув without soft mark in the end, but should use another word. Or when people in the bus ask for the driver, please stop on the bus station. In Russian language, it will be на остановке, пожалуйста. In Ukrainian, на зупинці, будь ласка. And in Surzhyk, it will be like на остановці, пожалуйста. Or на зупинці, пожалуйста. Or на остановці, будь ласка. Or don't pay attention. In Russian language, не обращай внимания. In Ukrainian, не звертай уваги. People use very often like не обращай внимания. Russian words, but with Ukrainian pronunciation. I often meet also a situation when in one family people speak in different languages. For example, father speak in Russian, mother speak in Ukrainian. How do you think how child will speak in this situation? Of course, some words will take from father, some words will take from mother, and at school speak Ukrainian, at home depends on the parents. And some friends of the child can speak or Ukrainian or Russian. Of course, Surzhyk is very popular. Of course, during the war, more and more Ukrainian people hate Russian language now, and people who spoke before in Russian now try to speak in Ukrainian. Maybe in future people will speak more in Ukrainian, and Surzhyk will be less and less strong. But I think it will be not soon because still a lot of Russian-speaking people. Maybe we need 50 years or maybe less. I don't know, who knows. But I think during 10, 20 years, no, a lot of people still will speak in mixed language, or some people in Ukrainian, some in Russian, because even now I meet small children on the street which speak Russian language because they speak like their parents. But at school they speak in Ukrainian, and future depends how they will speak when they will be adult. Write me in comments, please. What do you think about it? And have you ever been in Ukraine? Do you know Ukrainian or Russian or both languages? And did you meet people who speak in Surzhyk? And please click the like button, subscribe to my channel. See you.